He's not playing around, folks. He just went straight into it. Well, not really, because I didn't do my hello. What ho? Welcome back to another exciting adventure of the Plain Truth. I'm your host, Travel Mateus. I am severely toasted. And it's not a bad, weak cup of cocoa. Welcome to the show. I am tranked as I wanted to start a trend. If you wouldn't mind, if you would be so kind as to join. Saludos, Rodri Marquedos. I don't recognize you, my brother. How did you find my channel? Well, welcome to the show. Let me do that little who's he, what's it? Am I going to do that here? How's my audio? Check, check, check. All right, so I was just checking the audio for myself. So, Rodri Market, welcome to the show. Like I said, if you would be so kind, again, since I don't recognize you, and let me check my other screen. You are not blue, so that doesn't mean anything really, except for the fact that I don't recognize you. So I'm going to just want you to do a favor for me. Let me know if you're subscribed. And if you are not, how did you find the channel? If you're still here, hopefully you are. So what I'm going to do is drop out of this, or I'm going to stay here maybe. Add this. Hey, what's going on, Liz? Yeah, I hope you're well too, my queen. I haven't been to the show in quite some time, like maybe a month, but I know the last time I was there that we were talking about you and wondering how you were doing, because no one seemed to know where you were and how you were doing. So anyway, yeah, it's late there, I'm sure. Where you're about? Is it midnight yet? Just before midnight. Anyway, I am going to be going over let's see. I'm going to be going over this information. I think I just want to do the entire screen. Do that, this, and then do this, right? So let me see how that catches up over here. And Liz, if you would be so kind, would you make sure you hit that Fonzarelli before you leave? My queen, pretty please. You already commented in the show. That's great. But maybe since you're checking out, if you come back later and then make another comment and heart all the comments, thumbs up all the comments, because that gets all of the triggers going, and no one seems to know that. No one seems to understand it. And I can just keep begging for it over and over and over again. All right. So I see what we've got here. And what I want to do is make it as accessible as possible. Well, thank you so much. Ever so much. Much love and peace and light and laughter and liberation. All righty then. if I'm going to do this, I need to Can I entertain you while I'm doing this? What am I doing? Figure out what you're doing, dude. Hey, we got 3 people. Who's out there? Somebody say hi. Liz just said hello and goodbye, so that's that. All right. Good. All right, so this is just here to entertain you while I'm over here sharing the show and whatnot. So I want to see how that sounds. All right, everything sounds good. Hope you enjoy this beautiful footage because it is beautiful. I shot it, and I love everything that I'm seeing. I miss this place. I can hear my camera clicking away. I just want to watch my own footage. Maybe I'll do that until people show up. Oh, I was going to do some sharing. Create a post. All right, so it looks like there's one person watching. Can you say hello for me, please? Unless you're still Liz, but Liz said that she was leaving. So I'm guessing that the other Smurf out there, besides me, is whoever you are in the show. Now you're gone. So, all right, there you go.
Are you filming?
I am, but go ahead. Don't worry about it.
Riley? Say hi. If they come near her, then she goes. Only say hi to animals, though. Riley?
Oh, he wanted to go up there. Oh, no.
I know, you were mad.
Hey, I'm just watching my own footage, so if you want my attention, you need to say hello in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just going to be distractimated like I am right now because I was playing this for you to be distracted, and now I'm distracted. So it is what it is. But if you are here to stay, please make sure you say hello because if we know each other, why not say hello? And if you are going to stay, please make sure you say hello to Mr. Crocodile over here. See this guy? Does my mouse come up? Well, I was hoping that the no, I guess it doesn't. Huh. No, I guess it won't. Well, if you look over to the right of the screen, that the midpoint where the vanishing point is, where the mirage is happening. Earlier, it was looking like an alligator head, and it kind of still does. It's got that black dark eye, and then the snout is white, and the mandible underneath is white. Kind of looks like a crocodile or an alligator. So we have a clear shot here of the sailboat straight down to the hull. If this sailboat were farther away, this part of the boat here would disappear first visually because of light extinction. All right? Light extinguishes light. That's the nature of the mirage. That's the nature of refraction. If there's enough refraction, there's obstruction. If there's enough refraction, there is distortion. If there's enough refraction beyond that, there's displacement. If there's enough refraction beyond that, there's inversion. And then beyond that, there's dynamism or ether flow. Ether flow. Thoughts arrive like refraction. I love this footage. Oh yeah. Come back and watch that again. Anyway, so I've got a lurker out there in the audience. You lurker Smurf, that's what you are. You're a lurking Smurf. You won't say hello to me. I asked you to say hi to me, but you're not saying hello. My feelings are hurt, and now I'm going to enjoy my stonage. I'm going to actually probably go refresh this real quick and check on my fire pit. But I was wondering if these boats were coming because I wanted to see these boats. Yeah, baby. Look at that one is closer to us. Look at that. Look at the ghost of the wake. I just don't get people, man. People who I am in the process of responding to a PhD in physics from Canada, and he and I had our confrontation a week ago, and I'm listening now to the distracted by the mockingbird call. So he and I had correspondence by email, and it just wasn't. The communication just wasn't happening very smoothly, and so I was able to have him agree to do
I'm doing well. How are
a
you?
Zoom meeting,
Good.
and so we had a Zoom meeting, and got to know each other and talked about refraction. I did not mention anything about my perspective on the form of the Earth. And so we kept in correspondence, but I just kept running up this lost in communication because we were both speaking English, but it just was so difficult to address the conversation itself. So I created the opportunity to meet again, which was last week, and I decided to use meets and didn't realize that recording was only an option for subscribers or something, whatever. I don't even know, right? But I wasn't it, so I couldn't record. And I thought that I was going to be able to record, so I already had him on. He was an older gentleman who was already like evidently behind the eight ball technologically, which is weird because he's a physicist, or at least a PhD in physics, whatever that makes you, a physicist. I would think so. Still nobody here, huh? Hey, is there anybody out there? Hello? Hi. I love listening to the sound of a mockingbird. I think that should be okay. Hey, what's going on, Dr. Bass Ackwards? Same challenge goes out to you, my brother. Make sure you share the show, please, please, please. Share the show. And just to make sure, are you subscribed? Did you get a notification? How about that? Did you get a notification that I was live? So I'm so distracted by I'm being transported back. This is amazing. This is like going to be my Netflix fixed. I'm going to start watching my own stuff again. Wow. Great. So you got a notification. Awesome. Sawsome. So if you wouldn't mind making sure to share the show with somebody or two or three or a group or whatever. Oh, is that what I forgot to do? That could just be like my screensaver and just have it be a GIF. Just have that thing loop. I love this stuff. I love this. Oh my gosh. This is so magical for me. Look at underneath the trees. You know what I mean? You can see the light through the foliage at that angle. So anyway, I'm having this interview with this PhD, and we are getting along cordially until he just kept resisting any importance to this information. He's like, nobody's going to find this interesting. And I said, well, I'm sure that this is a niche for sure, but where did you get the information? Where's your data? Where's your Gallup poll on, hey, would you be interested in the information on a mirage if anybody was going to research it? Because, you know, we've actually come to find out, actually, with all this hullabaloo about the flat earth and all of these shenanigans, we've come to find out that the whole Andrew Thomas Young persona, character, is a fraud. I have him in email denouncing the science that he promotes on his pages. And he says, you're taking my science too seriously. When I'm asking him questions, and I have the emails, I can show you the emails. And I say, Dr. Young, where does this triangle exist in nature? And he says, what are you talking about? I'm like, your target. The target that you're using, like this house right here, I have a target right here. This target is 3 miles away. I have other targets that are 6 miles away and farther away than that. But this is one to give you as an example. Andrew Thomas Young, in his science, does not have any primary sources of his own research. Not only that, but the information is so sparse that he has to create a uh, what was I saying? He has to create a so he doesn't have any primary source data of targets in the distance that he can demonstrate what he's saying happens in nature. He has to draw a triangle with stripes so that you can delineate how many stripes are there in this one and that one and all that kind of stuff. And he makes his graph and he works really hard with his computer graphics and blah, 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 blah. And it's not natural. So I said to him, I says, hey, Doc, where can I go see a triangle in nature? Hey, how about that? Can you show me that? Hey, he's like, what are you talking about? I'm saying, like, you made a diagram, but I don't see triangles. So, like, I don't know what this is. Like, what is this supposed to be? How do I know what this is supposed to look like? It's a triangle, but I never see triangles. Can you show me a mountain that does this? He doesn't have that information. That boggles my mind. That no one has seen behind the curtain on this one, right? Anyway, so I says to him, I says, hey, Doc, why don't you use my footage? And he just absolutely has had no interest, zero, in replacing his science. I'm like, I want to help your science. Like, this can demonstrate what you're talking about. Nothing. Hey, we got 3 people watching, and Dr. Bass Ackwards has already said hello. Is there anyone else out there who wants to say hello? It looks like my screen is showing that the picture is crystal clear. Hey, Doc, Bass Ackwards, Doc. Hey, Doc. How does the screen look to you? Is it clear, or does it look like it's a lower resolution? Right now, I know that I'm focusing on. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to take this out. All right, so I'm going to. So what happened with the good doctor in our conversation that didn't get recorded? And I wished I could have recorded it because there were so many. You just got to take my word for it. Like, I'm going to tell it to you right now. This is the first time I'm telling anybody this information. First time. Okay, thanks. It looked clear. Okay, thank you. Well, let me play it and put that on mute. So as we're talking about refraction, this isn't the target, though. Okay, so isn't that gorgeous? I think that's like a unicorn. I totally think that's a unicorn. If you understand what I'm saying, like that's amazing. Like how many people see this? You would have, this is zoomed in 83 times. This is the full optical zoom at 3 miles. You can't see with your naked eye what I'm showing you right now. Like this is a God's perspective kind of a observation. It's not from the Z down, right? But it's along the X and Y axis. So the good doctor and I were talking about the other target, which is the red roof house. And in the footage that we were discussing, there was clear line of sight to the shoreline. Clear line of sight to the shoreline. And he had the gall, the audacity to say that there indeed was 4 feet missing. He did the work. He did the calculations. He said, well, typical. Yep. Looking at the same thing. Like you're looking across right now, right? Like you can't even see the shoreline with your naked eye. So if you were not trained by being a hobbyist at recognizing a mirage out in the distance, right? This is along the Chesapeake Bay. Anybody can see this. Everyone on the promenade there by the lighthouse in Concord Point, Havre de Grace, Maryland. Okay. This is a prominent fixture if you were to just go out there and just take in the entire panorama of the Chesapeake Bay. This is one of my targets that I have fallen in love with for the past 8 years. Crazy, absolutely crazy. So there's no clear line of sight to the shoreline here. Okay. There's no clear line of sight to the shoreline. So we are looking at, you're on a screen, I'm on a screen, okay? But there is depth. We see the way the boat is going away from us. The angle of the boat is going away from us, but the angle of the boat is also rising across the screen, okay? So we have to think about the 3 dimensions of our existence as spatial, I don't want to say spatial awareness, but spatial association. Man, I really wish people would show up. You know what I mean? I put out invitations and nobody's popping in. I mean, what can I do? What can I do? I kinda. It's like, you know, so. So we are looking over distance here. As we look over this footage, the presentation of the screen is vertical. The screen is vertical. It's up and down. It's just a flat screen, whatever. Okay, that's it right there. Boom. Okay. However, the image in the screen is depicting a 3-dimensional world in a 2-dimensional medium. So when we look across the floor, we are looking across the surface of the water, the floor. That's the way we talk about the space of our area, right? Okay, when we're talking about our field of view, someone's getting towed behind a boat. That's awesome. I didn't see that before. I need some help. Anybody remember what I was talking about? All right, so what I was doing before, was I up here yet? No. So there's no one here to interact with, so I'm just going to start reading through this and thinking through it a little bit. I have a response that I started, and it's right here, but I haven't sent it yet, so I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible, but at the same time, I've said my piece in terms of what I think. I told them what I thought about the importance of the information that we were talking about. That was one of the other things that I was distracted from saying, was that he was saying to me, in my enthusiasm, I was saying, I think that these ideas that I'm talking about are scientifically important enough for Nobel consideration. And he's like, oh, no. And I'm like, why not? He said, well, nobody finds this interesting. And I said, that's not science. There's a lot of science out there that gets paid for by your tax money that you don't even know about, and it could probably, well, you don't even know about it. So you don't even know you don't know. So whatever, right? You're paying for something, for information. Your tax dollars are going for research into absurd slush funds of absurdity, like alien research and just bullshit on Mars research, just on whatever. Who's got that? Who had the other idea? What was that idea you had the other day, Joe? What? I don't remember. Anyway, so I'm tranked. I'm plastimacated. I'm ripped. And I still got, and this is now 3 times watered down cocoa. I just built a basic cocoa, no milk, just dry spices. And is cocoa a spice? Cocoa powder? Is that a nut? Is the cocoa bean? Is it a bean? Is it a nut? Like, right. So a coffee bean. Yeah, whatever. All right. So I've got a lot. This actually came out a lot. Full page, single spaced, for the most part. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I say in here that's just, I mean, it'll probably be a bit abstract to him, but I don't know if it's over his head. But let's look at his. So he and I were talking, and let me see, maybe I should just find an example of, I'm just going to do it that way. No. Okay, stop. What am I doing? Take this out. So now I'm going to get a video. Okay. Hey, we have, all right, so let me see if I can get some red roofed house footage. Ooh, we got some crazy ether. I can see it right there. You want to see some crazy ether? Do ya? What I was looking for was this is what I classify as looming. This is 3 minutes. I don't know if it's all. I know where this. I think this is the 9-mile shoreline. I can't hold an audience, man. Got a little ASMR. Look at those. Look at those birds. So this is a very, very removed distance. This is this horizon right here. This division, right? The word horizon means division. So we need to, get off our high horses that horizontal means horizontal because that's what horizon means. Horizon means, flat, straight across. But didn't want to talk over myself. Yeah, so this is a, okay. Oh, you must not have seen it. There's a tower over there that we had a clear line of sight to. And it took me a couple of years before I saw it, but we're looking 9 miles across right here. This is the shoreline right here. This is what the compression of the shoreline looks like. If you're going to, go across the Chesapeake Bay. So this is what we can see with our naked eye. That's when I back off like that, if I don't say it on camera, that's what I'm doing. So now this is now full optical zoom. So this buoy marker is only 500 meters off my port. The port is right. Left starboard port. Starboard is right. Starboard. 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 So now we're moving down the Chesapeake. Now this is 12 miles away now. This is what 12 miles away looks like. This is the shoreline 12 miles away. And what my professor that I was talking with was saying, oh, no, there's this much missing. And I'm like, no, look, this is the shoreline. It's just all compressed right there. And he's like, oh, no, there's this much X, Y, and Z missing. Here's the data. And he was just ready for just any answer. Just any answer. It was just there's curvature there, even if it looks like there's not. So I started a reply to him. All right. So what I'm going to do is and we'll just go through his reply because, well, we'll just go through his reply. So he says, this note is in response to your letter where you state your hypothesis, the obstruction of visible distant targets is irrefutably accounted for within meteorological data because it alone accounts for all the required conditions through which the observation is being made. I worked really hard on constructing that claim because I had to push my assertion that the reason why this information was worth the Nobel Prize was because there's no need to appeal to curvature to explain any of this. And that's where he got triggered, not in a bad way. He did not get triggered in a bad way. Don't misunderstand me, but he got triggered to defend his model and say, oh, no, like this and that, and like, okay, so look. So when we were looking at my data, and I was showing him a shoreline that was 10 kilometers away, and he was in agreement that there should be 4 feet missing. And I'm saying, but look, there's the shoreline. And he said, yeah, but there's 4 feet missing. He just puts it there. I mean, you can lead a troglodyte to technology, but you can't make them think. And all I mean by that is just that you have this conflict of worldviews. So what's interesting and sad at the same time, because real quick, I want to do this rather than that. So and if anybody's out there, can you just give me a mic check? Is everything okay on the mic, please? Because I'm talking and whatever. Okay, so this was my claim to him. This is what I wanted him to understand. This is how I was trying to be as clear as possible. The obstruction of visible distant targets is irrefutably accounted for within meteorological data, because the meteorological data, the boundary layer data, it alone accounts for all the required conditions through which the observation is being made. So here is a target that this gentleman has taken himself, and absolutely applaud him. It's in some place completely remote in Arctic almost, I think, if not Arctic. So all of this footage is his, and I'm going to interact with it right now and try to keep an eye on, but there's no one in the chat, so I don't know if anybody can hear me. Hello? Is anybody? Hello? Hello? Is anybody out there? I feel so alone. Hello? Oh. Please say hello. All right. In your letter, you ask what supporting evidence I would like, because he was interacting against my claim that the Earth is not in conformity with the form of an oblate spheroid, right? Okay. He's not saying it's not flat Earth. It's so the fact that he asked me for evidence is interesting to me in terms of, like, you're not shutting me out. And the fact that this is his response and he's completely open and wants me to now engage back, right? Like, this is hopeful, because I've already gone toe to toe with him and said what I said, and said this is important because it'll change the nature of science. Everything in science will have to change, because everything in science has been based on and built upon the heliocentric model. That's beyond physical science, like the stuff that we do on Earth. Everybody practically is like, I mean, outside of myself, I mean, I could probably build a house of cards, but we have electrical engineers, we have mechanical engineers, we have structural, we have just run the gamut of knowledge here on Earth. When you get above the Earth and go up, 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 there's only how many people in that? Like and then you don't know where they're going. You have no idea where they're going. Or even if, right, the whole thing is even if there's anything in there, like you launch it and it goes up, and you're like, yep, there they go. And then it's just on a screen. I mean, that's not implausible. So the fact that he says to me, because I'm saying no, I don't need to. I think I said this to him. You are appealing to the curve. That's your burden to prove. I'm saying I don't need to use curvature at all. That's the entire shoreline, and that's what 6 miles looks like. And then when I sweep down the coastline, and then I'm at 9 miles and I can see houses, but when I see them, they're really small and squished and far away, but sometimes they're in a mirage and they're actually really close, and you can see the windows and you can see the panes between the windows because there's magnification and diminization. Not even going to try to say that again. You don't understand. It's on the record. The air is a lens, and he is going to suggest that up here in the Arctic, as dry and arid as it most certainly is, he's like, there's no refraction. Okay. All right. So here he says. He says, in your letter, you ask what supporting evidence I would like. It is this: documented field photographs. Okay. I think I have that, but I would have to ask you, like, what does that mean? Together with measurements. I mean, I've done that, so I would have to actually search that and find that. But that's where then I would want to negotiate terms, because this is my life's work at this point. This is more effort. I've put more effort into this research than anything else. And it's like they're saying, we want your music, and we're not going to give you the royalties for your data, right? So he documented field photographs together with measurements, right? Okay. He says, I cannot agree with the hypothesis. I have selected a few images from my Arctic field trips that contradict it. So he is in the Arctic, and he's got beautiful photographs. No question. They clearly, this is the Christian saying to the atheist, the Bible is clearly literal. The Bible is clearly literal. Clearly. These photographs clearly show obstructions to distant targets caused purely by the curvature of the Earth in a normal atmosphere with no visible effects of atmospheric refraction. My question is, what does this mean? What does that mean? And how do you know that exists? Normal atmosphere. Right? Is that like talking about our DNA? And if our DNA was like 90, like our DNA is just, like if you're not normal atmosphere in the Arctic, normal atmosphere. Okay, hold on now. Okay, so look. I don't know who's going to find this. Well, I don't even want to talk about that, man. I don't even want to talk about that, bro. But let me know if you want to join the show, man. I'll get you a link, man, because it's a StreamYard show, bro. So if you want, we can talk about this together, but I ain't talking about no drama. I ain't a drama queen. Drama queen. So here we have this term now, normal atmosphere. I'm sorry, is that anything to be associated with the standard atmosphere? So at what point along the latitude, at what point do you transition from standard atmosphere, which is where we all are, right? No, because standard atmosphere is only applicable to the observations of the celestial sphere above the terrestrial floor. Okay? You like how that goes? The celestial sphere, you look out to the horizon. When you're measuring to the horizon, there is an electricity. There is an electrical storm of energy that extinguishes anything small enough to be consumed by its maw. All right? That's what happens at the point where you lose your ability to distinguish. Like, I don't know, I can't see that anymore. I can't see that. That's curvature. That's curvature. That's curvature. I said, yeah, that's curvature. That's curvature. Right. So my point is, there is no standard atmosphere. Okay, it's merely conceptual to address the refractory nature of looking through the sky, the aether. All right, everything above the ground is aether. The language of the Erebus, the dirty air, is, in my opinion, what was I thinking about this? Let's see if I can grab this, because it's been a while since I was thinking about this. Okay, but let me go back and just say that the fifth element, the aether, is all of the air that we breathe, everything from the ground up. That is all aether. And so you have, wherever you are right now, wherever I am, like I'm in southern Colorado, and it's pretty arid here. It's pretty dry. Remind me, you can't join right now? All right. Arid and dry. Colorado's arid and dry. I got to go check my fire. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up, and I got to tend to my fire anyway because it's starting to go out. But all right. Well, it is what it is.